So when I read this headline from Inside the Magic, it says anti-woke mob criticizes Marvel for Silver Surfer casting choice. I read this headline and I thought, well, did they actually announce that the Silver Surfer was going to be coming into this movie that they're planning? Now, I read the tweet that references, that is referenced in this headline. And when you read the tweet, they actually say something along the lines of, well, that Galactus's herald has been casted for the Fantastic Four and it's going to be a woman. Yes. Apparently, Silver Surfer is going to be a woman, but that is basically what this headline wants you to believe from Inside the Magic. But I figured it would still be a good conversation to have because it's not actually what was said. What was said was that the herald for Galactus was going to be a woman, but as everybody is well aware, there is multiple different heralds for Galactus, and they're not necessarily going to change Silver Surfer from male to female. But the reason why this is a good conversation is because one, it's Disney. Number two, it's Kevin Feige. Number three, it's the MCU, and I guarantee you they probably will gender swap Silver Surfer and give her the Silver Surfer moniker. So we're gonna get into the article, guys, from Inside the Magic. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says, for an extended period, Kevin Feige has held the role of president at Marvel Studios, steering the Marvel Cinematic Universe within the framework of the Walt Disney Company. The MCU's profound influence on the superhero film genre and the entire cinematic landscape has left an enduring mark despite differing perspectives. Now, obviously, that is 100% true. The MCU was a game changer. Okay, it was such a game changer that people try to mimic it. Right, like anytime you are ultra successful, people will try to mimic your success, and most of them will fail. Some of them might succeed, maybe not on a grand scale like they initially did with the MCU. But if you have people trying to copy you, then that means that you are probably very successful. Now, obviously, you guys are aware the MCU was at its max success during the first 10 years of its run when it was doing its Infinity Saga. Then the moment it went into phase 4, it seems like you can't even notice the MCU. Like it's completely different. It went from the MCU to the MCU, as it's been called, jokingly, but it's true. It went down a completely different path of identity politics, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time. And it kind of stirred the whole pot too. Like Disney used the MCU to try to push identity politics, and people called it out. And because people called it out, the shows, the movies are not doing anywhere near as good as they used to, even after Infinity Saga, even after all that. You can blame, oh, it's not the Infinity Saga, it's just another story. But listen, if you could tell a good story with a good, build-up that was just as great as Infinity Saga, you should have similar success. You should not be seeing this massive drop-off like you are now, and the reason why you are is because you're embracing identity politics. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into what was actually said. So it says the Silver Surfer in 2007's Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, became an iconic villain to many moviegoers with his eye-catching all-silver body. According to a new report from a known Hollywood and Marvel Studios insider, My Time to Shine Hello, however, it appears that the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot set within the MCU continuum will have one key difference from the 2007 film and even the Marvel Comics origin being a female instead of a male. Now, this is a tweet that came out from My Time to Shine Hello. It says Galactus's herald in the MCU Fantastic Four reboot will be a woman. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, there has been many different heralds for Galactus, okay? Many different heralds, not just the Silver Surfer that a lot of people obviously know. They could definitely bring up any other herald that they so choose, but what are the chances of that, right? What are the chances that they're going to come out with a Fantastic Four movie that they're trying to utilize certain big names and they're not going to utilize Silver Surfer, okay? They're going to make Silver Surfer a woman. I genuinely believe that. But two things can be true at the same time. I also believe that this is purposefully left vague just in case it is not Silver Surfer and they bring up an entirely different herald of a Galactus. Bounding into Comics tried to jump in on this, saying that they reported on this back in 2019, and then you have some people saying Galactus has had multiple heralds. This doesn't mean Silver Surfer is a woman, guys. Now, again, That's how I feel. It's vague for a reason, right? It's vague for a reason. We don't know if it's actually going to be Silver Surfer. But the thing is, this is Disney, ladies and gentlemen. This is Disney. This is Marvel Disney. They are going to use Silver Surfer. It is a high probability that they are going to use Silver Surfer in this upcoming reboot. Otherwise, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you use one of the biggest names that you have available to you to push the new movie for Fantastic Four? And if you are trying to go the identity politics route by making the next Herald of Galactus a female, then you're going to use the Silver Surfer name. I can see them doing that, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can see them doing that as well, but I just wanted to be honest and tell you that, yeah, there are multiple different Heralds of Galactus, obviously, and in this scenario, this tweet is left purposefully vague, I feel like, just in case they don't actually use the Silver Surfer name and they go with someone completely different. So it says, in the Marvel Comics, Galactus, known as a devourer of worlds, is a cosmic entity with an insatiable appetite to consume entire planets. To aid him in the cosmic task, Galactus selects beings to serve as his heralds. These heralds are bestowed with a fraction of Galactus' immense power, granting them superhuman abilities and enhancing their physical and mental attributes. Notable heralds includes a Silver Surfer, who rebelled against his master and became a hero, Terrax the Tamer, who controlled the Earth, Nova, which I believe that's who it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be Nova, a former human with fiery powers, and an Airwalker, Gabriel Land, a resurrected warrior with control over the air. I feel like this upcoming herald is going to be Nova, personally, okay? It would make the most sense if you're going to go with a female herald, you're going to make it Nova. But again, this is Disney, and they're not all about making sense. They're all about what's going to draw the most clicks, what's going to draw the most eyes, and I guarantee you a female Silver Surfer will draw the most hate watching you can see in quite a long time. So again, I just feel like this is going to happen, but we're going to find out eventually over time. It says this report names the Fantastic Four villain as Galactus Herald, which most likely indicates the Silver Surfer being a prominent Fantastic Four nemesis, meaning that Marvel Studios will be switching the character's gender. Naturally, members of the public have many thoughts on this reported casting choice, with users like Breaking57 calling the decision unbelievable and more woke, claiming that Marvel Studios would go bankrupt. Obviously, these tweets are very extreme. Marvel Studios is not going to go bankrupt, but they will lose a lot of money if they keep going down this identity politics route. We've seen them lose a ton of money already as it is. This is nothing strange, right? This is nothing different from what they've been doing. Phase 4 and Phase 5 are no different. They're not going to suddenly give up identity politics just because they're losing money. Disney and Marvel are still being subsidized by many different avenues of income that they can lose this money and use it as a tax write-off for profit and losses and all this stuff. So they're not necessarily scared of losing money. So announcing, Silver Surfer being a female is not something that's completely out of the realm, of possibility, which you have a different tweet, right? So look, you have a different tweet down here that says Galactus has had multiple heralds. We went over this tweet, okay? This tweet is from the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Oh, calm down, everybody. There's been multiple heralds. It doesn't mean Silver Surfer is going to be a woman. I understand where this person is coming from, but you got to understand where other people are coming from, right? We know Disney's game plan. We know what Marvel loves to do, okay? We know that they are the same people. They made Phase 4. Phase 4 was literally the most pathetic phase in Marvel. It really was. Like, I just cannot believe they even decided to come out with anything in Phase 4 remotely close to what they produced. It was just really, really pathetic. So, these are the same people who made that. It is no shocker that Silver Surfer could potentially be a woman, I guarantee you. So I'm kind of like 80-20, right? I'm 80% leaning towards it's going to be Silver Surfer as a woman, and I'm 20% leaning towards it's going to be Nova, right? Because Nova would make the most sense if you're trying to do an actual female herald and not use Silver Surfer. Then, of course, you got the typical people who are trying to say, oh, all you want is just white men, white men, white men. This is just such a basic take from somebody who has no fundamental understanding of what's going on in the world right now. It says at the end of the day, whether it ends up being Norman Rad, Silver Surfer, or Frankie Ray Nova as the main adversary for this Marvel Universe's Fantastic Four team, Marvel Studios is certainly going to try to ensure that their biggest remaining superhero team and franchise outside the X-Men is a resounding success. I guarantee that's not the case. That is not the case. They don't care about whether or not it's a resounding success. Obviously, if it makes more money for them, that's great, but that's not what this is about. If they want to make the Herald a woman, it's obvious that they're going to continue the MCU route. That's just what it is, and they don't mind losing money. We've gone over that many times. They're being subsidized by many different avenues of income. Their entertainment sector is not their main priority. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.